29 million gallons of water is enough to fill 44 Olympic-sized swimming pools. In Fayette County, Georgia, that is the exact volume of water that vanished from the municipal system into a single construction site through two unauthorized, unmetered connections. While the utility's digital monitoring systems remained silent, the loss was only discovered when local residents in a nearby subdivision noticed their kitchen faucets losing pressure. This is the story of Project Excalibur, a massive data center campus owned by Blackstone, and a systemic failure of infrastructure oversight that has led a Georgia city to do the unthinkable: ban the industry entirely. The facility at the center of this investigation is the QTS Fayetteville campus, known internally during its planning phase as Project Excalibur. It is a massive undertaking by Quality Technology Services, or QTS, a company acquired by the global investment firm Blackstone in 2021 for approximately $10 billion. The Fayetteville site spans 615 acres and is designed to eventually house 16 buildings totaling 6.2 million square feet. This is not just a local project. It is a critical node in the global infrastructure build-out required to support the current explosion in artificial intelligence and cloud computing. The scale of the investment, estimated at over $1 billion, makes QTS the largest potential taxpayer and water customer in the county's history. However, the physical reality of such a project requires immense resources long before the first server is plugged in. Construction at this scale demands water for dust suppression, soil compaction, and a mixing of thousands of tons of concrete. In a region where water security is a recurring political and environmental flashpoint, the management of these resources is a matter of significant public interest. The context of this water usage is heightened by Georgia's environmental state. Open-source data from the U.S. Drought Monitor shows that Georgia frequently oscillates between periods of heavy rainfall and severe drought, often leading to state-of-emergency declarations regarding water conservation. In this environment, the disappearance of 29 million gallons is not merely an accounting error. It is a threat to the stability of the local water table and the reliability of service for surrounding residential communities. The investigation into Project Excalibur began not in a boardroom, but in the bathrooms and kitchens of a Fayetteville subdivision. Residents began reporting unusually low water pressure, a phenomenon that suggests a massive, localized draw on the system that the county's infrastructure was struggling to meet. When Fayette County Water System officials investigated the source of the pressure drop, they traced the draw to the QTS construction site. What they found were two distinct, unauthorized connections to the county's water mains. These lines were unmetered, meaning the water flowing through them was not being recorded by the utility's billing software. According to a May 2025 letter from the Fayette County Water System to QTS, obtained via public records requests, the company had been drawing millions of gallons of water without any regulatory oversight or payment. The financial scale of the oversight was quickly calculated. Fayette County issued a retroactive bill to QTS for $147,474 to cover the cost of the 29 million gallons consumed. While this figure is a rounding error for a firm like Blackstone, the volume of water it represents is staggering for a municipal system. The primary question for investigators and residents alike was how such a massive draw could go unnoticed by a modern utility provider for months. There is a significant discrepancy in the official record regarding how long this unauthorized usage lasted. Fayette County Water System Director Vanessa Tigert estimated the unmetered usage occurred over a period of approximately 4 months. However, QTS provided a different timeline to officials, stating the usage actually spanned between 9 and 15 months. The QTS version of the timeline appears more consistent with the sheer volume of water used. For 29 million gallons to be consumed in only 4 months, the site would have had to draw nearly 240,000 gallons every single day. Over a 15-month period, the daily draw is more consistent with standard large-scale construction activities like dust control and concrete production. This discrepancy matters because it suggests that the unauthorized connections were active through multiple seasons and inspection cycles without being detected. When asked to explain the failure, county officials pointed to a procedural error involving a transition to a new cloud-based metering system. According to Director Vanessa Tigert, the department was also severely understaffed, with a single employee responsible for both site inspections and plan reviews for the entire county. This created a blind spot that a sophisticated developer like QTS was able to operate within, whether by accident or by omission. Perhaps the most controversial aspect of the investigation is the county's decision not to penalize QTS. Despite the unauthorized nature of the connections and the impact on local residents' water pressure, Fayette County officials opted not to issue any fines or citations. Tiger defended this decision by stating that the county needed to be partners with their largest customer rather than taking a punitive approach. This partnership stance has sparked intense local debate. In public comments and online forums, residents have questioned whether a smaller developer or a private homeowner would have received the same leniency for bypassing a water meter. While some residents have speculated about corruption or envelopes of cash, there is currently no evidence in the public record to support claims of bribery. The reality appears to be a more mundane, yet equally consequential case of a small local government being overwhelmed by the sheer scale and speed of a global capital project. The impact of this incident extends beyond a single retroactive bill. It has fundamentally changed the political landscape for data centers in Georgia. QTS has claimed that once the Fayetteville campus is operational, it will utilize a closed-loop cooling system. This technology is designed to recycle water internally, theoretically requiring municipal water only for domestic needs like restrooms and break rooms. However, skepticism remains. Closed-loop systems are highly efficient, but they can still require make-up water to replace volume lost to evaporation or system leaks, especially during peak summer heat. If a facility of this size were to revert to municipal water for cooling during a heat wave or a system failure, the strain on Fayette County's infrastructure could be catastrophic. The unauthorized usage during the construction phase has served as a stress test that the system arguably failed. The most concrete consequence of the Project Excalibur incident is the passage of Fayetteville Ordinance 26-0-12. In a direct response to the concerns raised by the QTS project and another proposed development by Crow Holdings, the Fayetteville City Council took the drastic step of banning new data centers within city limits. Crow Holdings subsequently withdrew its appeal for a separate project in March 2024 after being denied by the Planning Commission. This ban marks a significant reversal for a region that had been branding itself as the Silicon Orchard. The tension between the economic promise of data centers, high tax revenue with low traffic, and their physical resource demands is reaching a breaking point. If you find this breakdown of infrastructure oversight useful, please like the video and subscribe to the channel for more evidence-based OSINT investigations. The QTS Fayetteville campus is still moving toward its 2028 to 2030 completion date. Currently, 13 of the planned 16 buildings are in various stages of development. The $147,474 bill has been settled, but the trust between the developer and the community remains fractured. The incident highlights a growing trend in the AI era. The digital world's total dependence on physical, local resources that are often managed by underfunded and understaffed municipal departments. What remains unknown is the internal oversight process at QTS and Blackstone. How a multi-billion-dollar developer manages to accidentally hook up two major, unmetered water lines remains a question that public records have yet to fully answer. Furthermore, the failure of the cloud-based metering system to trigger an automated alert for a massive pressure drop suggests that the smart infrastructure intended to manage these resources is only as effective as the humans monitoring it. To recap, Project Excalibur, a Blackstone-owned data center, drew 29 million gallons of unauthorized water over a period of up to 15 months. The loss was only detected by residents, not the utility's new digital system. While the company paid a retroactive bill of $147,474, no fines were issued, leading to a total ban on new data centers in Fayetteville. Sources for everything are linked below. If you want longer breakdowns, the newsletter is in the description. As data centers continue to expand into rural and suburban corridors, which signal would you watch most closely to detect a systemic failure? Local water pressure reports, municipal staffing levels, or the sudden adoption of closed-loop cooling promises? Let us know your thoughts in the comments.